all Hello. Hey, hi Radhika, hi Rama, hi Karan. Hello. I'm audible. Okay. So let's just wait for 2 moments if anyone else is joining. So otherwise we'll just get the things rolling. Okay. So all the agenda is like what we're going to do is we are going to basically the idea is there were certain topics that were left in the Python, right? So I think in the Python we had done up till pandas, if I remember it correct. Or did we do something more as well? So if I ask you all what's the difference between a dictionary and a list, who will give that? Well,
Um, I think um, list only has one type of elements. Like dictionary is more like object.
no.
Actually, I think we'll need some recap because it's been a while we did Python. So if you can just quickly recap main points.
Sure. Okay. See, so I'll request all of you to please launch your Anaconda and open a new Python notebook. Right. So we had learned how to write the Python course in the using the Jupyter notebooks we were learning, right? So basically, what happens is you have this structure of a notebook over here. Where what you do is you can just use it like a normal. You declare the variables, right? Suppose I'd say a equals to 10. Just give me 1 second.
Radhika, he has to wait. He'll be back.
Hello, yeah. Sorry, I had kept some tea on the stove and I just forgot about that. So, okay. So see, what we'll do is, I'll do a quick recap of the things today, right? Just so that I'll also advise that go to the videos, so that you are able to come up and recollect all the things. So what we do is basically we have this concept where what we can do is we can use it like a normal variable. For example, I say 10 plus 20, it gives you as 30, right? Alt plus enter is a shortcut for that. What we do is we work with the concept of variables, right? So we create variables in Python. Like for example, I create a variable a equals to 10. So it gives me now value of a is 10 over here. So I can see in this. So if I use anywhere a now, if I say a multiplied by 2, that will give me 20. Right? So a, this is how we declare the variables in Python now. You can store text data also, right? Suppose I create another variable b equals to high. So it gives me b as high now. So let's just quickly, you can also do the things with me so that you all can recollect all the things that we did. Right? If you say type of B, it will tell you that this is string type. Okay. Now, similarly, if you say over here, if you have to store multiple values, so what we did was we started off with the concept of list, right? So in the list, what you can do is you can store multiple values. Suppose if I say I want to store the age, student ages, so I can say I can make a list. Suppose the age of the first student is 12, 15, 17, 18, 20. You will now see this is created now. If I run this, you can see the ages over here of all the students. So this is a list. If you will check this type of this now, you can press tab also. So it tells you that this is a list that we have created. Okay, so Rama, from where does the indexing starts in Python?
0. 0.
Huh?
0.
0, right? So this is index number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
In R, it starts from 1, right?
Right.
Yes.
Now, if I ask you that I want to see only the first value, how will I do that? If I want to see only the value that is at number 12, so we can say index number 0. That is 12. We will have to do the index position of that. Suppose I want to see these 3 values. How will I see them?
0 colon 3 in indexing. This way.
So right, Radhika and Rama, right? So we'll have to define that sequence over here. So I will say I can leave this blank also up till 3, right? So you write 3, it will give you only up till 1 less, that is up to second index number. So this was 0, 1, and 2. How will I print it in the reverse order now? Right, if I want to print this in the reverse, so I can say all the values, right, -1. So it gets reverse. Now in the list, you know what happens is you can store all the data values, right? You can store all the values. with all type of values, right? You can do the same thing. Suppose I create something like a new list. In this, what I can do is I can store the values, right? I can store A, B, 1, 2, right? So you can store all the things in there. So that is also totally fine in this case. A, B, 1, 2. So I can see a list can store values of all types of data types. And you can also store a list within a list. Suppose I say new list 1 is equals to, I'm saying 1, 2, and I'm storing another list inside it, right? So suppose 4, 5, 6. So this can also be done, right? So this is a list within a list. Okay.
Amit, is dictionary like a matrix?
Sorry.
Dictionary is like a matrix.
No. So dictionary is basically, we'll just come on to that just in next 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just come to that.
That comes in curly bracket.
Huh? Curly brackets, yeah.
Curly brackets.
You see, basically what happens is the list is mutable, right? Basically, this is something that is asked a lot in the interviews also. Like, what is mutable? What is immutable? Mutable means that if a list is created, you can remove or add items in it, right? Suppose this is a new list that you have. From this new list, suppose you want to remove an item, you can say dot pop, right? If you say dot pop, it is going to by default remove the last item, right? Now, if you see over here, new list, so the last item is removed. So that means list, I am able to modify it. If I want to add something or I want to remove something, I am able to do that. But if I come over here and I say I want to append something, so I can also do that. I will say append 10. This value will be appended in it. Now, if you will see, you can see that, oh, sorry, you just have to assign this to a variable as well. I mean, to the same variable, new underscore list 1 equal to new list equal to new list. Sorry. New list 1 I have appended now. Sorry. This is where it gets added. So you can add and you can remove an item from that list. Okay. Now what happens is the next thing is that is dictionaries. Now dictionaries are basically, in this what happens is we store the data with the index number. So if you want to store the data with some keys rather than indexing, we use dictionaries in that case. Suppose if I now create suppose I create dictionary 1, so suppose I call it as uh, dict 1, right? So I'm going to say this is going to start with curly braces. So suppose first you define the key value. This is student 1. Student 1, what is the value? What is the name? Suppose Sam, right? Student 2, what is the name? Suppose Harry. Student 3, what is the name? Jack. right? So your list dictionary is created. So if you will see now, you can see the name student and the name are visible over here. So if you want to see the data of student 1, you will simply say student 1, that is Sam. Okay, so instead of storing the values with index numbers, we have stored the values with the key values. Now dictionaries have, values and keys and all. You want to see the keys, these are the keys. You want to see the values, you can see the values. You say dictionary dot items, you can see the all complete pairs now.
Hi, Amit. Can we store more than one value to a key?
That will go as a list. Suppose you want to, you come over there,
Like if
right?
student one was Sam as well as some other name.
So you don't have to make a list over there. You can call it as Sam, right, Leo. So you can do that. So there's a list that is
And
created.
when it displays the items now, how will it display items?
So it will show you the list will come over there. So this is the
Oh,
key
okay.
and this is the value, that is list.
Okay. Thanks.
Then we are doing tuple. See, I'm not going in a lot of detail right now, right? Because I'm just giving an overview so that we just touch upon those things. You are able to regain, recollect those things. When we did those sessions, we did a lot more things on that, right? So I'll strongly advise that please go through those videos maybe today, so that at least you have a fair enough idea about the things that we have covered. Okay. So what were tuples? Anyone who can recollect?
With the closed bracket, I guess.
Different bracket. That's
Yeah.
the only thing we remember.
Huh?
Different style of bracket, and it was it couldn't be changed. Tuples
Right.
couldn't be changed.
Yeah. So tuples, they are like list only. The only difference is that in the tuples, they are immutable. You can't add or subtract the items in that, right? So for example, if you see right now over here, let's create that. Suppose I create tuple 1 equal to, you will use round brackets. I'm saving some names in this: Sam, Harry, Jack. Now this is a tuple 1 that has been created. So Sam, Harry, and Jack. Okay, so if you come over here now, if you say tuple 1, 0, right, it gives you Sam. But you don't have the feature of adding or removing an item in this. You can't apply those append and pop in this because these are immutable. So generally, the data that we want, that it should not change, the data we don't want to be changed in the future, that is the type of data that we store in this tuples. Okay. What do we call this, right? Like when I was writing this over here, like this, what do we call this? What is the name for this in Python?
Function? No?
No. These are basically methods. We call them as methods, right? So, I mean, they are functions only, but we use a different name. Method are built-in functions. We call them as the methods, and the functions that we create, they are called as functions, basically, right? When we create by using the defined function that we have. Okay. Shall I move forward? So what was sets, if you remember? Set.
The items which is stored in variable.
I'm sorry.
If we save few items in the variable, is that called sets?
This is basically we use it to find the unique values. So a set will only store the unique data. Right? Suppose I have a list. See, if you will see now set 1, it only brings unique data. Okay. Then we had learned So these were the different data types that we had talked about, right? Then we had talked about uh, how we can create the functions. Right? The function that we're talking over here is a user-defined functions. So, any idea how do we create the function now? Syntax.
We can create function to get a result. For example, if we want to sum a list, so we can either use a built-in function like sum in this case, but we can also create a function where we can use for loop, and we can take individual item in a list and then add them to another variable and then pop that result as a result of the function.
Right. So that is, and before even before the functions, let's just do a quick recap on the Python statements also, right? Right. So that were the if, elif conditions and the loops, right? So we talked about the loops and all else as well, right? That how we can use the loops and if conditions. So when you have to write a if condition in this, so basically, if you all remember that, what happened is that Python is a very neat language, right? Basically, what we do is we work with the idea of indentation. Okay, we work with the idea of indentation now. So indentation means we don't have to use a lot of brackets and all. So if you have to write a condition, right? If you have to give any condition and all. So what we do is we simply say if, right? If suppose I'm saying if a divided by if a modulo 2 is equals to 0, I want to print even, else print odd. So this is how you can create your functions very easily, right? The value of a was 10, right, which was even, so it gives me the output as even over here. So you can write your if conditions by simply following the concept of you want to write multiple conditions. So what we do in that case is we use elif, right? So if I say if a this 2 equals to 0, right, then what we said, well, this is what I want to print, right? I say even, you can write elif if you want to give more conditions, elif, right, a modulo 3 equals to 0, right? Then what we do is we say rent divisible by 3. So this is how you can give if elif if you want to give more than one condition.
With elif, do we need to end it somewhere, like with the else,
Sorry?
or with elif, need to end it with else in the end, or
Else is optional. If you don't want to give else, you can skip it. If you want to give an else, you can do that. Else, right? So you can give over here else print don't know something, and you want to write.
okay.
Now, similarly, when you come over here, we discussed on the idea of loops. So we had talked about loops. So can you write a code? If I ask you a code, write a code to print factorial of a number. So we discussed for loops, while loops. And so when we work with a loop, so we simply write something like this, right? For x in whatever you want, so you give some object over here. Then you write your code. The code comes in. Now this is how the things take up, right? So if I now see over here, suppose I want to use and I want to write a for loop. So if I say I create a list, then this list one I am saving the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I say for I in lst1, I say print I, it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Will you try the factorial code? Okay, so Radhika, you have shared the score. This is not right, right? Basically, this is how we give the
Yeah.
iteration.
Hmm.
That how many iterations it has to run.
Okay.
So Rama, you have shared the file. So this LSD, what is this?
List. We are saving list.
Huh?
Now we are. I'm saying the list. LST is a list.
So basically, we will go like this, right? So for IN, suppose if I write list of 1 to, now if you come over here, this list and 1 to number has been created. So fact is equals to list of it doesn't take that. So we'll have to give it this way. Range is to number. While which let's just make this only range 1 is to none. So this is what will take this up, right? So you get 120 now.
So range is like from 1 to the number what we assign.
Sorry?
No, the range is like from number 1 to what we assign for the variable number.
So you have defined the number as 6. So I'm saying for range in 1 to number. So it will take 1 to 6. But when you say 1 to 6, right? When you say like this, right? You say range 1 to 6. Okay, so when you run this, so this range is created. So you have to now print this out. Suppose you make this list out of it. It gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will not give you 6 because last part is not included. So it gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. So what is the thing? So this, when you are saying number over here, technically, if you write it as 5, suppose you want to say that a person, you have to find the factorial of 5. So you can say over here number plus 1, so that the things go perfectly fine. So you get 120, correct? Making sense?
So we should give in the range or in list. List with the range.
So yes, because range, it's a generator function.
Okay.
When you simply write this much partner range, it will not give you any output. It will just create a function where it knows that it has to generate the numbers from 1 to 6, but it will not give you any output. So to generate the output, we have to wrap it inside the list. Right? If I don't give the list right now, see if I'll show you, nothing will come. See, it just gives you range 1 to 6. But the moment you type it inside the list, then it prints the output. Right?
Okay.
I think the mistake which I was doing was I was confusing it with while loop. I was giving a condition that till the time n is greater than 0, keep running it.
that is a while loop.
Yeah, that's a while loop.
That's right. Okay. Now, can you make a change in this? This number, you know, what should happen is when I run this code, the user should be giving this input. Can you check this once? If this will work.
Input, I guess.
Use input, but
Conditions.
it's asking me the number, but then it doesn't do anything with the number.
You give the number over here 6 or 5. You get an error, right? What happens is this input, you know, when it takes a number, it stores that in the form of a character. So you will have to wrap it inside the int also. You will have to convert that number into integer.
Okay.
Right? So if you now run this, still, you know, this print factorial should be not over here. It should be outside this code, right? Like this way. If you will put it inside the over here, it will keep on printing factorial at every iteration. So this should be over here. Okay. Then, you know, we talked about the idea of functions, right? So we can create the user defined functions, right? So how do we get those? Are basically you define a function name. Suppose you want to add, then you define some parameters. Suppose you say num1 and num2. Now these are the parameters that the person is going to get, and you say return. Suppose I say a equals to num1 plus num2, and I'm going to say return a, and a function. The function is created. Right now, if I come over here, I say add 10 comma 2, I get good. Okay. So same way you can create any function if you want to define any default value. You can do that also. Suppose if I say num1 equal to 0, or maybe and num2 also equal to 0. Okay, now if you run this, if you write the add function and you don't give any input, it will take 0 0. But if suppose you haven't given any default value, and then you run the function without this any input, it will give you an error. So it is expecting two parameters, num1 and num2, which you have not supplied. right? Then if you remember, right, we had talked about the libraries, right? So we talked about NumPy, Pandas, right? So NumPy is something which we use for numerical Python. So with this, you can create your arrays if you want, right? NumPy arrays. And Pandas is the most, the frequently, the more widely used, because this is something which helps us in creating.
Hello? Can't hear you, Amit. Got logged off.
Yeah, I think you will join.
Which reminds me, if you're free, come tomorrow. We can, before the class, RO2, we can sit and do the
Yeah.
assignments.
Okay. At what time?
Huh?
At what time?
What time? Come before lunch. We'll have lunch and then we'll start our work.
Okay.
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 You can drop your daughter somewhere, like
No, I'll leave her home. That's not a problem.
you can. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. My husband is there. Okay.
If you want, you can bring her also. No worries. I mean,
It's okay. I'll drop it.
okay. So maybe around 12, 12:30 if you can come.
Okay. Sure.
We'll discuss after class.
Fine. Okay. Radhika?
Yeah, saw his message.
Okay.
Please, power cut. Oh,
Yeah.
I think last time is also about to finish.
I'll just reply.
7:30.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell him.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, my hi.
Yeah. Sorry, actually, this is over here. We have this rainy season right now. That now due to this power cut. Okay. Let me share my screen. Right. So we were talking on this part over here. So we were talking on the idea of the numerical Python and the pandas that we have. Right, so in NumPy, what we generally do over here, we were talking about the NumPy arrays. So what are NumPy arrays?
Lists only.
Yeah, something I list only, right? Which we use. So what happens is basically you can store the numbers over here in this arrays over here now. Suppose if I come over here, I want to. So this arrays, that we talk about, these arrays that we have, these are of two types. You have one-dimensional and two-dimensional. And two-dimensional is something which we call it as matrix also. Right? This is something that we have. Suppose if I now come over here, suppose I create a list. Suppose I'm calling it as my list. So I'm calling it as a my list. My list is equals to 1, saying 1, 2, 3, 4. what we can do over here is we can convert them. So first of all, before using that array, you will have to install that NumPy library, right? You will have to import, download it. That I hope you all would be having an image base, right? When we use conda install NumPy. But over here, what we do is you will have to first of all import it, right? In order to use this functionality. So I will say import NumPy as np. Now I can say np dot array, okay, and I would like to convert this list as it called, yeah, my list. You see now it has now been converted to an array over one dimension. If you will give multiple lists, right? If you will give multiple lists inside this, suppose if you say np dot array, okay, and now what I'll do is let's try to give multiple lists over here. So for that, let's create a matrix first. I'll say my matrix, in which I will give list within a list. So I'm going to say my matrix is equals to, I will say, suppose I'm giving please create this. Okay. Now, if you want to convert this also into array, you can say np dot array, right? And this we will pass this my matrix inside this. So you see this matrix has been created. Something we saw in the R also.
Here also, if we want that 1, 2, 3 should come as column, 4, 5, 6 as column, can we do it? Like, say, by row equal to F.
No, no. So that you have. So you have to technically transpose this.
Transpose.
So basically, NumPy is all just about this array and matrix only, which we definitely not use a lot. Main is pandas that we use, right? Import pandas as pd. Now this is something that we use more often, right? So what happens over here is, now in the pandas you get something called as series, and you get data frames. Okay, so when we talk about series is just like list only, right? You want to store some data, so that is something called as the series now, right? So suppose you have some list with you. Let's use my list only, that this we had. So if you want to convert this into series, you can say pd dot series, and you can pass my list. So this gives you a series. Now when you create a series, in the series you also, it shows you the index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the index. Okay. Then what we have is, like we discussed over here. So this was the thing that which is series that you have. And then we main things were data frames, right? So basically data frame where you can store the data in the form of rows and columns, right? That is what we had explored, which was the main, the area of interest over here that we had to understand. Right. So suppose if I want to create a data frame now, so we had a function that was data frame that we used, right? pd.data frame. So let us create one. Let's try to create one of the data frames. So what we'll do is, first of all, let's just import one, let's import one of the random, from the random libraries that import some function, numpy dot random n, right? So from this, importing one function that is random normal numbers. Random normal numbers. Now what I'm saying is I want to create a data frame, which I'm calling it as pd.data frame. Okay. I want to create a matrix, so I'm saying random n. I want 5 rows, 4 columns, and it will just generate random numbers in 5 rows and 4 columns. And I want to give the row names. So for that, I'm defining the index as, like suppose A, B, C, D, for 5 rows. So A, B, C, D, E. Right? These are the indexing that I have defined. Suppose you want to define the labels, also the columns. So I'm defining the columns equal to 4 columns, right? Suppose M, N, O, P. See, now your data frame is ready. These are the row names and column names. Okay. So this is, a quick recap, right, of the different data structures in the libraries. So I request, please go through the videos also, just for a quick recap of the things. So tomorrow, what we will do is we will start off with the visualizations and how we do the visualizations using the Python, using the Matplotlib and all, right? So that is what we are going to explore now.
So this way we created random numbers, but if suppose we have 3 lists available, okay, list 1, 2, 3, where list 1 is column names, list 2 is, and list 3 are the numbers. And if we give or create a data frame like this, it's giving me error, but I don't know why it's giving me error. Basically, I wanted to see if we can arrange the data with list 1 column name coming in between.
Can you share your screen, guys? Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Okay. I've shared the code, but one second. Okay.
No, actually, what you've done is you have to define that thing. So you have made list 1, column 2, column 3. And what is this list 2 and list 3?
These are just numbers. So I was thinking like how we are giving indexing, right? We are giving indexing for row names, and for column names, we are giving this. Suppose if we want to create a data frame and we don't have to give the column name separately because we have the column names as part of a list, then how do we create that data frame?
You have to write that names. Like for example, if you this over here, you first of all
Deliberately give list 2 first and then list 3. I wanted to see how it gets arranged. Then I give list 1.
no, first of all, you are not giving a data over here, right? So you are now doing just giving list 2, list 3. So how Python will get to know like what you want to assign into list 2 or list 3 over there, right? So you have to write that, for example, just pick that up, just copy that random n 5 comma 4 just from that above function, copy that and paste it inside the data frame where you're in list 2. Okay, now in this you have 5 rows. So basically make it 5 rows and you have 3 and comma 3. I just make it 3 comma 3. Now you write index is equals to list 1. Sorry, index is equals to list 2.
Okay, but they're not random numbers. I have the numbers.
What numbers do you want to show in the data frame?
So I
List
want to
two.
show list 2 and list 3. So that will actually be rows will be 2 and column will be 3.
So you want to remove random n from there.
Okay.
So you will have to create a list of list. So create a list. No. Type that brackets only. Just give two bracket. Just
Should I write list?
list
Okay.
brackets. Oh no, other brackets.
Round brackets?
See, basically what happened is, let me just show you. So like this code that you have shared.
I'll send the updated one.
I just got this one. See, what we do is you have to don't get the list two separately. So what you do is you create final this over here, right? You are saying final list is equals to, you give lst2 comma lst3, right? You first make this complete list over here. If you will take a look at this now, final list, this is a list within a list. Now what you do is when you are creating your data frame, pd dot data frame, over here you will give this final list comma, then you are defining suppose columns equals to lst1, right? So now you get that.
Okay. But without making final list, we can't give them a separate input, list 2 and list 3, maybe as part of, we can also do it that way, right? We don't need to give final list. We can just write in bracket list 2 comma list 3, like how you,
You can do that also. Just write this list, this also.
yeah.
You will write like this. So lst2 and lst3. That is also fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye.